Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Xiong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. During the 2023 May Day holiday, China's cultural and tourism industry displayed a strong rebound. According to calculations by the data center of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, the total number of domestic tourist trips in the country reached 274 million, marking a remarkable year-on-year increase of close to 71% and reaching 119% of the comparable period in 2019 before pandemic. However, beneath the surface, thriving tourism hides a less prosperous reality. The trend of people opting to travel without spending or reducing their expenses has impacted domestic tourism in China, resulting in a decline in tourism revenue. For the majority of Chinese people, the May Day holiday spanned from April 28th to May 3rd. The total expenditure remained unchanged at 148 billion yuan, the same as in 2019. Consequently, the average expenditure per traveler in 2023 amounted to 540 yuan, down from 906 yuan in 2019. The term Special Forces tourism has gained popularity during this year's May Day holiday. It refers to a travel style where tourists visit multiple attractions in a short time and with minimum expenses. The type of tourism involves a fast-paced and tightly packed itinerary, demanding good physical endurance and the ability to travel independently. Therefore, it has been coined as Special Force tourism. Meng Wei, a sophomore studying tourism management at Shandong University of Finance and Economics, is actively involved in Special Forces tourism. He believes that this cost-effective and efficient approach to visiting attractions is highly suitable for young people. Since the beginning of this year, Meng Wei has been participating in Special Forces tourism almost 1 to 2 times per month. In preparation for the May Day holiday, Meng Wei traveled to Weihai. He shared, "Our group typically consists of 3 to 4 people, mostly classmates or friends. Once I have planned the itinerary, we embark on our journey. For our trip to Weihai, we took a 2 a.m. hard-seat train and arrived at 8 a.m. Upon arrival, we rented electric bikes and rode approximately 60 to 70 kilometers. As most of the scenic spots and attractions in Weihai are along the coast, coastal biking is the optimal choice. Along the way, we visited various free parks, witnessed the sunrise and the sunset, and captured these moments through photography." Wang Zihao, a senior student at the Yangcheng Teachers University in Jiangsu Province, is also an enthusiast of tourism special forces. He hails from Suqian, Jiangsu. Unlike Meng Wei, Wang Zihao doesn't adhere to detailed itineraries. Instead, he prefers to set a general direction and adopt a more spontaneous approach to his travel. "I'm naturally introverted, but my university teachers encouraged me to engage with more people. So I chose travel as a means to make new friends along the way. I've had several experiences with tourism special forces. For instance, in a recent trip, I took a hard-seat train and arrived in Shanghai. Due to the high costs of hotels in Shanghai, I decided not to stay overnight. Instead, I spent the entire night without sleeping, exploring the Bund Chenghuang Temple area, Wukong Road, and the cool docks on shared bicycles. Although we couldn't enter some attractions at night, it didn't hinder our experience. Moreover, the night views were incredibly stunning, unveiling breathtaking scenes that remain hidden during the day. I also had the opportunity to immerse myself in various local customs, such as witnessing people setting up stalls as early as 3 a.m., he said. Based on a report from the First Financial Daily, the majority of Special Forces tourism participants are young people, particularly college students. They commonly share certain experiences, such as visiting more than 10 attractions in a single day and relying heavily on bicycles for transportation. It is typical for them to cover a distance of 60 to 70 kilometers daily. They also tend to adopt a thrifty approach to food and accommodation. To ensure their studies are not disrupted, these trips are often planned for weekends or holidays. The cost of a 3-day excursion usually falls below 500 yuan, with average daily expenses for food, accommodation, and transportation amounting to around 100 yuan, equivalent to approximately $15 a day. Meng Wei shared with the report, "Our meals usually consist of fast foods like a Burger King, costing around 20 yuan per person. We also prioritize saving on accommodation. For instance, we opt for triple rooms in hotels, which cost just over 130 yuan per night, offering great affordability. Taking these factors into account, our average expenditure per person for a 2 to 3 day trip is approximately 300 yuan. Wang Zihao's excursion to Shanghai and Suzhou spanned approximately 3 days, with an average expenditure of 500 yuan per person for the entire trip. Certainly, special forces tourism is not suitable for everyone. The tightly packed itinerary and the focus on maximizing efficiency often mean taking overnight transportation options. Accommodation and meals are kept simple. Additionally, extensive cycling or other forms of walking require a high level of physical fitness from participants. Saving costs is a significant consideration for many who participate in special force tourism, although there is also a small group that seeks the excitement of efficient sightseeing. Both Meng Wei and Wang Zihao share a similar mindset. They don't have high living expenses and are willing to eat instant noodles and steamed buns to keep costs under control. The phenomenon of special forces tourism has quickly gained popularity, leading many young people to become travel influencers. Both Meng Wei and Wang Zihao have their own travel video channels and have amassed a significant number of followers. This has been a rewarding experience for them, particularly for Meng Wei, who is studying tourism management. Many of their followers seek travel advice and recommendations, which has provided a strong foundation for Meng Wei's future career in the tourism industry. Both Meng Wei and Wang Zihao expressed their desire to continue their special forces tourism adventures in the future, with aspirations to explore destinations such as Lhasa and Yili Prefecture in Xinjiang. According to data provided by Tongcheng Travel, there has been a noticeable surge in the number of users engaging in special forces tourism since April. Among these users, approximately 30% are students, marking a significant 40% increase compared to March. When it comes to travel timing, over 50% of student users prefer to embark on their trips during Fridays and weekends, with Friday being the most favored day for young travelers. In terms of scenic spot booking, there has been a remarkable 42% increase among students compared to March, with approximately 80% of student users opting for same-day booking. On average, each student user reserves more than 2 scenic spots for their trips. The most popular destinations are typically cities that offer a dense concentration of attractions and convenient transportation options such as trains, high-speed rail, and local public transportation. The contrast between the rebound of domestic tourism and the subdued state of international travel has left many foreign tourism operators disheartened. Despite the lifting of travel restrictions several months ago, China's outbound tourism has not shown signs of recovery, which is a cause of concern for the foreign tourism industry. According to data from the Japan National Tourism Organization, the number of visitors to Japan in April 2023 reached about 70% of the same month in 2019, but there was an 85% decrease in the number of mainland Chinese tourists. Savius, a property consultant in Hong Kong, also noted that during the recent May Day Golden Week, they initially expected approximately 600,000 mainland tourists to visit Hong Kong, but the actual number was around 450,000, representing a 40% shortfall compared to peak periods. European media outlets have also expressed dissatisfaction with the continued absence of Chinese tourists in Europe, despite the end of the pandemic, and there are no signs of recovery in the European tourism industry. The German publication Handelsblatt reported a significant decline in the number of Chinese tourists visiting popular destinations in countries such as France, Switzerland, Greece, and Spain. Here are my takeaways. 1. The phenomenon of young people traveling on a tight budget has existed for a while, but the extreme form of special forces tourism has only emerged this year. One of the main reasons for this is the strict control measures implemented in China for the past 3 years, which has left the young people feeling frustrated. The dynamic zero approach and the prolonged periods of stringent epidemic prevention measures, including frequent lockdowns and PCR testing, have significantly impacted people's travel plans. During the lockdown period, students couldn't even leave their campuses, let alone travel. As a result, when the pandemic finally ends, young people have a strong desire for revenge travel, aiming to compensate for the lost youth all at once. 2. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely impacted China's economy, leading to a decline in consumer spending and a shift towards saving money. The popular saying, high ideals, harsh reality, and the world is vast, but the wallet is small, perfectly captures the situation. In 2021, a survey with over 20,000 respondents revealed that the younger generation in China aged 18 to 34 is increasingly focused on saving for retirement, with the savings rate reaching a new high since 2018. Among them, 76% of young people state that they are increasing their savings to build emergency reserves. The phenomenon of special forces tourism reflects the delicate mindset of today's youth, who find themselves caught between their aspirations and the harsh realities of life. They are unwilling to give up their dreams of exploring new places, yet they must adopt a frugal lifestyle. This trend also serves as a mirror reflecting the post-pandemic Chinese society, where consumer willingness may have recovered, but the ability to spend may not catch up quickly due to lingering economic pressures. It is important to keep an eye on potential industry changes in various sectors, including tourism, in the future. 3. Social media influence and emulation. Presently, Chinese youth heavily rely on social media platforms for obtaining travel-related information, particularly through the displays and the recommendations of others. Popular attractions and trendy cuisine often gain initial popularity on platforms such as Little Red Book and TikTok. Many individuals observe others' posted photos and feel compelled to visit the same locations, capturing their own pictures to share online and further influencing others to do the same. Throughout this process, there is a tendency to prioritize showcasing rather than genuinely experiencing the journey itself. What should be a meaningful travel experience transforms into a superficial completion of tasks and even a means to enhance one's social image. 4. In addition to financial pressures, Chinese young people also face time constraints. Unlike their counterparts in some countries, Chinese university students do not typically take a gap year. Both graduates and current students are occupied with job hunting or utilizing their school breaks to pursue professional certifications or internships. The latest statistics reveal a historically high youth unemployment rate in China, reaching 20.4%. This necessitates active job seeking during their academic years, leaving little room for long-term budget travel. Despite their strong desire to explore, Chinese youth often lack the necessary time and the financial resources. As a result, they push themselves to the limit and adopt the role of special forces, given the circumstances they find themselves in. In summary, the phenomenon of special forces tourism reflects the prevailing condition of inadequate domestic demand in China. This can be attributed to various factors, including consumer uncertainty about the future, challenges in the real estate market, alarmingly high youth unemployment rates, widespread anxieties regarding job stability, and the government's cautious approach to wages, pensions, and healthcare benefits. These circumstances have resulted in a sense of caution among consumers. As a consequence, the Chinese economy is experiencing a prolonged period of decline. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.